Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the wake up call with myself and Alex. How's everyone feeling out of 10?
You know what? I'm not going to say 10 today. I always say 10. You guys know me. I mean, anytime somebody wakes up on the right side of the bed or whatever you're saying is,
The right side of the
10 out of
dirt.
10, the right side of the dirt. Yeah. I'll say in honor of Charlie Kirk, I'll say 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be a 7 out of 10 today too.
Okay. All right.
So
Sounds good.
yeah. All right. Well, let's get into it, y'all. This is the wrong one. There we go.
We're okay. All right. It's me. Hey, how about I start talking then? I'm looking at the others chart. I know, Devin, you've been really big about others, and I am with you this week because, I mean, sure, I was always in agreement with you on that. That like that was the place to be, but some significant things. I looked at the chart earlier this week, and it was really others dominant. So let me go to others dominance real quick, and I was like, man, this thing looks ready to break out. I mean, especially for me, the big level is the 200-day moving average. And so it broke through the 200-day after lots of time struggling below there, and it's above. Now, sure, could we have a back test or something on that? But others dominance, we have much higher to go with others dominance. I mean, if we were to go back to 2021, I'm not sure about that, but I mean, that would be more than a doubling in terms of dominance, not in terms of prices, but in terms of dominance. And so I have made videos this week, and I've opened those videos with the same comment that I made in August of 2024 at the bottom, which I said for altcoins was now is the time. Now is the time to buy altcoins. And so if you're asking which altcoins, nice pool. I don't know what you're asking. Which altcoins? Oh, yeah. Okay. My background. It's a fake background. I'm sure you already know that, but green screen.
Alex is the master bottom feeler.
The bottom feeler. Yeah. So I mean, it's not the bottom, right? April was the bottom, but it's been very choppy for others since then. So here we are again. Now's the time. And for me right now, the name of the game is 11 through 50, because in terms of market cap, because if you think about the top 10, you have Bitcoin, obviously well beyond its 2021 peak. You have Ethereum has hit a new all-time high. I know it was very brief, but hit a new all-time high. Binance is in price discovery. Solana is making its way back to its all-time high. Devin, you pointed out that market cap is pretty much at the all-time high. XRP hit a new all-time high. So there's 5 of the top 10. Tron's in the top 10, already an all-time high. And Dogecoin is one of the only ones. Dogecoin and Cardano are the only 2 in the top 10 that aren't quite there yet. So I mean, sure, you want to get some Dogecoin and Cardano, but for me, it's a big thing. Is I'm looking at 11 through 50. So I bought a good amount of Avalanche this week, and it's already, I wish I had announced that sooner, because Avalanche already kind of broke out. I mean, it's still, I think, at a phenomenal value, and you can see my projection for Avalanche here. Although this might not happen because we've already had a back test. The back test of filling a little bit filling this gap here is what I'm concerned about with Avalanche. So was that enough? We'll see. But kind of a projection of getting up to 32, then back down to 28, and then getting ready to rocket. My Dogecoin bags look very good. And you can see my projection for Dogecoin was a false breakdown and then a breakout, and look where we are. It looks like it's following that stride for stride. So that's in top 10, but that's a meme coin. But I mean, really, I'm looking at older utility cryptos. So let's not include Shiba Inu or something yet. Older utility cryptos, 11 through 50. Last I checked, VeChain was 51. So how about 11 through 51? VeChain for sure. And that's another one that, again, me with the 200-day moving average, it's primed right now. I mean, but it's like, you've got to zoom in really, really tightly there to even see it with VeChain. That it's just like, it's knocking on the door. And I think this is finally it. This is finally time for VeChain. Now, 2.6 cents is also going to be resistance, but after that, I think VeChain's going to be off to the races. So there's plays, and I'm already kind of dreading in October hearing the question, "What should I buy now?" It's September. I know that we have it kind of in our brains that, like, September is supposed to
Uh,
be the down month, but, like, given how much we front ran September and August, and given how much we dumped at the end of August, no, that was it. That was our September. Sure, rate cuts,
yeah.
I know, your opinion with rate cuts. We'll see what happens with the market after rate cuts. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we continued to rally into rate cuts and then had a correction off after there. But that means nothing when it comes to fourth quarter. So I'll hand it to you.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of been my base case. I have others pulled up right here. Um, I do think there's going to be, or I theorize that there will be perhaps a significant correction after rate cuts, but it's only going to be a
Yeah.
higher low, in my opinion. Like it's going to be my target was when we were over here less than 300 billion. My target was 360 billion for others, and this is a dirty looking chart. I need to clean this up, but we've just been on a higher high, higher low structure, and we're already at the,
Yep.
the 618
I saw that.
Fibonacci retrace. So I agree. I think we're going to continue to rally. This was my thesis back in August. I thought we were going to rally into the rate cuts. And maybe I said it a little bit prematurely, and maybe it's I'm a week late or whatever, but that's what it looks like we're doing. Like Solana's making an all-time high. Like you said, all the different coins are just making all-time highs. So I think that's what's going to happen is we're going to rally into the rate cuts. I think Ethereum might even get 5,200 by then, and then we'll have a back test of the prior range, which it'll just be a higher low in my opinion for the rate cuts because like this idea too. You know, okay, so one thing that I do think it's kind of different, in that the rate cuts, perhaps is a little bit different of like most of the time when we get rate cuts, it's because like something bad has taken
Yeah.
place and they need to fix it. Whereas this time around, it's like they have almost politically delayed the rate cuts, and the markets have been expecting the rate cuts for years now. So, this idea that it's going to like catch us off guard and, there's some sort of black swan C19 crash. I don't think so. And so I don't think it's, I think that September where I can't show my pictures. Dang. It's not going to be as, favorable per se as October and November, but I do think we're going to rally into the rate cuts and we're going to have a back test of the prior range for, Bitcoin, for Ethereum, for XRP, and really quietly, like we've been talking about this a lot. We've showed this a lot is the roller coaster ride. But super quietly, we talked about this last week. Like Ethereum is up 50% over Bitcoin over the
Yeah.
last month. And I cannot overstate how big of a domino that is that has
Mhm.
fallen. And I don't want to pretend like in the end of June, like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like Ethereum wasn't at $2,100. Like I had William on last night and he kind of joked because Ethereum was like quote dead and everyone hated it. And then when it started pumping, he was like, "Oh yeah, I never said anything bad about Ethereum. I always loved Ethereum." But yeah, this is a big deal, and it just kind of shows the roller coaster ride that is the transition of money flow. What are we
Yeah.
seeing is like when Bitcoin has reacted with these numbers. The first time Ethereum was at 3,000, we go up, pull back. Ethereum was at 3,500, we go up, pull back. Ethereum was at 4,200, and I think there's a decent chance that we actually make a proper all-time high, and then we get a rate cut
Yeah.
crash, which everyone was like, I'm gonna sell now, and I've been like teaching against this idea that
Yep.
you're gonna sell and then you're gonna buy back in lower. I'm like, it's probably gonna be a higher low. If I said it once, I said it 76 times. I don't think that that's what's going to happen. Um, and I was always advocating the photo of seasonality chart, which I can't even show it here but I was advocating the seasonality chart a lot, and I gave the caveat, like, September historically is the worst performing month for Bitcoin. The major caveat, though, is the last two Septembers have been
Yeah.
slightly green. And I think that that's what's going to happen. Like, do I think there's going to be a correction after the rate cuts? I do, but I think it's going to be a higher low for Ethereum. I think it's going to be a higher low for Bitcoin. I think it's going to be a higher low for everything. And people, um, I'm seeing people talk about, what about the CME gap at 113? It's like they were just talking about that at 112. So to me, or 102, excuse me. So to me, it's like those CME gaps are something. They tend to get hit eventually, but not necessarily when you think it's going to get hit. It could go months, even years sometimes before they finally get hit. Someone said when rate cuts the 17th. There's a 94% chance that
It's
there's
going to
going to be
happen.
rate cuts. Yeah. In Bitcoin dominance, like quietly,
Yeah.
everyone's like, no alt season, alt season's canceled, alt season's canceled. Well, it's in it. Bitcoin dominance is in a bear market now. This is officially what I consider when you see the 200 on top, then the 100, then the 50, then the
And it just
20.
keeps getting rejected at the
That's a bear
20.
market.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bear. It's literally in a bear market right now. And I think, like I've been talking about, in our brains, we have this, like, we have a transition. We think that it's just going to be like, it's going to bottom out and everyone's going to come to a collective agreement. Okay, guys, that was the bottom. Now it's time to buy. And then we're going to just kind of gradually go up. And
Yeah.
that's not how it goes. Like, the transition is slowly and then it is suddenly. And it almost always catches retail off guard. And this is kind of the meme that really illustrates what I've been talking about, of like how we remember 2021 versus what actually happened, of like, this is us in 2021 just getting wrecked until like a brief moment in history. And then we look back and today in 2025 is like, man, 2021 was so awesome. Even though, like I've talked about a lot, it wasn't until after Bitcoin got in price discovery, which to me was
Yeah.
$118,000. It wasn't until after that took place. I have yet to find a coin pre-Bitcoin going into price discovery that was not at its bear market lows, near its bear market lows, or lower than its bear market lows. I have yet to find a coin that existed in 2021 that, when January 6, 2021, when Bitcoin went into price discovery, here's Ethereum. Bitcoin had already done a 10x. Ethereum is at its bear market lows. Bitcoin goes on to do another 50%, while Ethereum goes on to do a 5x. This is the second largest coin. I have yet to find a coin that was not at its bear market lows, near its bear market lows, or below its bear market lows. But all the altcoins this time around, they're at their bear market lows. It's like, yeah, bro, same as always. Same song, different verse. Same crap,
That's a
different
hilarious
toilets.
meme.
Uh,
I just, yeah.
uh, yeah, so sometimes memes can say
Yeah.
so much more than any data that I can. But that to me is the most true meme that I have came
I want
across.
to show you something to hop off. I heard a number. You said 5,200 for Ethereum, and so this is Ethereum in 2021. Guys on TikTok, we're live on YouTube. So I know you can't see the meme. Sorry, and I'm showing my chart now. You can't see that either. I wish I could show it to you on TikTok, but then TikTok will ban it.
If you're watching on TikTok, whatever you do, don't go to the red
Oh
place
yeah.
or
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
X. Whatever you do, don't do that,
All right.
because you won't be able to see our
Look at me.
stuff.
All right. So this is kind of this candle right here is kind of like my 5,200 ETH is the parallel. You can see barely broke an all-time high. So, all right, first of all, Ethereum almost got to its all-time high and then dumped big time. And that's what happened with Ethereum this time around. and then barely broke its all-time high, but it was just the tip, and then dumped, but put in a higher low. And then this third one here was, okay, this time we're going to break through the all-time high, but then it was another wick. And that's kind of like, that's my picture of what 5,200 ETH would look like. Would be another break through the all-time high. All right, we're going to go, it's time. And then we get rejected there and go down to like $4,600 or something like that. And then we rally. But, you know, you can see back test. I wouldn't be surprised if eventually there was a back test. So I'm World War Bitcoin on YouTube. What's your YouTube, Devin? At your boy ski. So one of those two, World War Bitcoin or at your boy ski. So we probably, I would think we'd have a back test. Where
YABOYSKEY.
The other thing that you said that I just kind of want to hop onto is oh shoot. ETH dominance. This is Ethereum priced in the total 3. So give me a second here. Ethereum priced in the total 3. This is kind of a big reason why I'm saying now is the time to buy altcoins. This is what Ethereum does versus the rest of the altcoins. It will rally really hard. It will rally really hard and then just reverse really hard. And so I think what day was that? August 26th. I think that was the day that Ethereum barely broke that all-time high. August 26th, August 24th. I think that was the peak for Ethereum versus Total 3. And now it's time for Total 3 to outperform Ethereum in a major way. So take from what you will from that. What?
Someone asked me what happened to the full moon ski. Well, the full moon was 9/9 2025 and 9/10 2025. We had one of the most significant events. So I would say that's in the window of energy. I don't know if they were legitimately asking me or you know, but yeah, that typically you find your local bottoms around the full moons. That's kind of a known quantity to me. Not always, but good percentages. Nothing is everything, but everything is something.
Sure.
Yeah. So for me, the play is to kind of front run the ecosystems of, if we're going into large caps, front running these ecosystems, like what is in the ecosystem. I think about in 2023, what was one of the things that's really popped off for me. One of my first really big wins was Saucer Swap. And the reason that Saucer Swap was a big win for me was because that's what I was doing. I was like, I really like the H bar base. So what is an ecosystem within H bar that is doing something that I can agree with? And it was Saucer Swap. So for me, like right now, specifically, when you say right now as the altcoins, to me, it's front running. Where are we in the money flow? And then the coins that we project to do well, it's finding the ecosystems within those coins. To me, that is that's the play. And VeChain obviously too is like to me that is the most prime blue chip at this point. You could even say like I don't know, like in between large and medium. Or something, I don't know, but that is that's next. Yeah, that's what's next. We're seeing Ethereum flirting with all-time highs. We're seeing XRP flirting with all-time highs. We're seeing all these things, everything everywhere all at once. Many top calls, but here we are.
Yeah.
So sell more ETH at 5,500. If that's your plan, I don't think you should just be like winging it.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
I'm actually okay with rotating out of ETH right now. I mean, you want to wait until it gets above its all-time high? I just think, somebody asked me, I hate this question. Should I sell my ETH and buy such and such crypto? And I hate it when people ask, should I sell this and buy that? I'm like, sure, maybe. I don't know. What's your how much of that do you have and how much of the other do you have? But I actually said yes to, should I sell my ETH and buy Avalanche? And I think they throw out another one and sell some of it. You know, I always hold on to some, sure, whatever. But
Yeah. For me, it's like we used to say in the Army, do what your rank can handle. So that would be my answer. But for me, Ethereum, my target since 2022, I've had 3 targets have been 3,300, check. The next one is 7,200. That's the macro. The micro is about 5,200, but the macro next big major target is 7,200. That to me is the highest probability top landing spot for Ethereum. And then if things want to go absolutely crazy, and we get into like pure euphoria insanity, I could see Ethereum getting to like 12,000. But you know, you think about the difference between right now and 7,200. Are there better ROI
yeah,
plays? I would answer emphatically yes. And I would even say, like, you know, it's all about like what percentage are you risking, like what's your downside, as well as like what is your upside potential. And I would say there's similar downside risk plays that have more upside potential. And for me, that's the play. Someone said realistic XRP top this cycle since
here we go.
2022. When XRP was at 30 cents, my targets were $5, $8, and $12. Today, XRP, my targets are 5, 8, and 12. I think the highest probability is $8.
4.236 extension in market cap would put it at $8.92.
Yeah. So that to me, that's potato. That's a liquidity grab. You know what I mean? That's what are we at? Like 3. I mean, it looks really good in the micro right now. Let me pull up my screen again. I've been talking a lot about Wyckoff reaccumulation. I wish I could show my actual window and not the. Let me see if I can do that. Let me see if it. Oh, it does let me. Nice. Amazing. All right, let me pull this up because I've been talking a lot about. Okay, I'm just figuring out technology, kids. So this is what I've been talking about. This has been my thesis for XRP. And, you know, you go into a reaccumulation is after a big. So here you go. This is a little bit of a master class for you guys. So take notes. Class, turn your page to page 37. This will be on your final report card. So Wyckoff reaccumulation is you go into a big markup, you distribute, you go back into accumulation, you jump the creek, and then you go back up. And this is kind of a continuation from this diagram into this diagram right here. And then that's basically what happened with XRP is we had a pretty significant run up, and then you go into a chopping, basically oversimplification. You just chop, and you have 2 points of, you have resistance and you have support, and then you creak down into the spring. There's 2 variations. You could go the LPS variation, or you could do the spring. Spring variation would be lower than the lost my thingamajig here. Spring variation would be the would go lower than. Is it showing it on YouTube?
Oh, I mean, I'm seeing it.
Oh, okay. Okay. It would go lower than the selling climax, and then you jump the creek. For me, I was talking about this at 260. I was saying that 290 would be confirmation of jumping the creek. What is it showing right now?
Your Wyckoff reaccumulation schematic. And now it's
all right. Let me just pull it back up. So then when we look at this, that's exactly what we did, where you have your big run up, you come down, you in April and May, we were accumulating. I said that this was a bear trap. We came back up, put in a higher high. And then this is the reaccumulation right here. You can see it a little bit better on the 5-hour. And you have your buying climax, your selling climax. You have this bit of support here, and then you creak down. Spring goes lower than the selling climax. This was 269, and I said 290 would be confirmation of jumping the creek, which also was the 5-hour 200, which is not as important as the daily 200 for sure, EMA, but 5-hour 200 definitely is important as well. And that's what we've done. And we've, we're full on. We've crossed the 20 has crossed the 200, the 100 is about to cross, and the 50 is about to cross. So on the 5 hour, this is basically very close to being back in the full on bullish posture. And the daily had never
Yeah.
even left it. This is a full bull market. So I think we're going to make another plunge here on, medium term time frame to 420 blazing, and then we'll see what we do. It'll probably be a back test of the prior range again.
Very nice. Yeah, I had a very similar outcome with the just different analysis on XRP. So I mean, you could, if you were to pull up my chart, I just real simple. I mean, I called for a false breakdown of this triangle formation. Oh no, we're going the wrong way, bro. What's going to happen? And then what happened? You know, we had a true breakout. And so I mean, could it look something like this? Squiggly lines, you know, whatever. I mean, we'll see. But I'm very much, maybe not in September, but October, expecting a new all-time high with XRP. So
someone in my Telegram asked me to go over our discrepancy in link price. I don't know that we have that big
okay,
of a different discrepancy. I think my lower is lower than yours, but my
okay,
higher is higher than yours.
$48.
So I don't even. Yeah, mine is 38,
Okay.
78, 178. I think 78 is the highest
Yeah, I mean,
probability.
given where Link is,
So
sure. Is my price too conservative? It may be. What's Link? I mean, that would only be a doubling of Link's price to get to my price target. I will fully admit also a little bit of a negative bias towards Link. I don't hate Link or anything, but I just remember buying Link at $25 in December of 2020 and then being really frustrated with it because it, it only gave me a 2x or something. So, yeah. Well,
wow,
I
is
mean,
that
you
all?
think about another disappointment in December of 2020 was Polkadot. I bought that at $6.
Yeah.
It did an 8x. And then, but like that was one of the underperformers from buying in December of 2020. So for Link to do what it did, I was like, man, this thing just is a turtle. So I love trading Link. I just don't like holding it for long
Mm.
term. I do pretty well trading Link.
Link is in my kids' portfolio at the average price of $8. So I'm happy with
When
Link.
oh, did you buy that in the most recent bear market? Okay, yeah,
Yeah, I was stacking Link pretty
cool.
heavy. So maybe I'm bullish bias, I guess, because it's
Yeah,
done well for me. I seen some crazy V chain targets like 80 cents. I will say 80 cents is I'll say it like this: 80 cents is not impossible. I do not think 80 cents
yeah,
is likely. I don't think it's like super plausible. It's like it's within the realm of reality, but it's just outside of um plausibility. You know what I mean? So I don't think that that's very plausible at all. But I will say about VeChain, I might have said Link, but I will say about VeChain is out of all the sort of blue chips, it is the one that I am the most bullish right
yeah,
this second on. So and my targets have been 20 cents, 40 cents, 60 cents. You could throw in a 15 cents for a fourth target. That would be the micro 618 retrace. So I am very bullish on VeChain short term and long term. And I feel fine if I have to round trip a coin, like I feel fine round tripping VeChain.
yeah. Me too. That's a good point. Um, yeah, risk to reward is so much more in your favor with VeChain. I'm exactly with you on that. I mean, I think I talked about this last time we were live, but like somebody asked me, give me one cryptocurrency if you were forced to double your money, you had to double your money. I chose VeChain.
Yeah. Yeah, we have the beard
Oh,
bet
that's right.
on
Yeah,
VeChain. It was 10 cents. So Dogecoin thoughts. I like Dogecoin structure. To me, actually, Dogecoin was the coin that am I on your chart or
yeah,
mine? I'm on yours. The coin that made me kind of rethink not the 4-year cycle is not the right word, but it made me rethink um timeline where we were at and really start marinating on it. And the more that I look at it, the more that I'm pretty convinced that this is actually what's taking place here. And I just okay, let me pull up Bitcoin. So let me get a cleaner chart here. And of course, that's not a clean chart. But okay, so we can have what I call like a retrace bull run or like a retrace rally. And people will confuse a retrace rally, which if you don't know what a retrace, people call retrace different things than what I call it. A lot of times what people call a retrace is like back testing the prior range. For me, a retrace is if you have like a ball on top of a mountain and I were to drop a ball, it's going to bounce 50 to 70%. That is a retrace. That dead cat bounce, that's what I call a retrace. Some people call it like a back test of the prior range. But for all intents and purposes, when I'm talking about a retrace, that's what I'm talking about, is a dead cat bounce 50 to 70% or the 618 Fibonacci retracement. I am old enough to remember, I'm unk here now at this point, as the kids say. But back in my day, there wasn't TikTok. There wasn't crypto TikTok. There was just Twitter crypto. And I remember distinctly this rally right here for Bitcoin. And let me pull up Dogecoin too so we can finish the thought. But this rally from 2018 to 2019, where Bitcoin did have a significant performance, and there was a lot of altcoins that performed very well during this time. But I'm old enough to remember everyone was absolutely convinced that this was the bull market. And you think that you had the rug pulled on you in 2024. I want you to think about and just like go back in time for a moment and think about, imagine like getting your hopes up, starting to heat up, only to not only have the rug pulled from under you, but literally the entire world was shut down right here.
Yeah.
So just put yourself in the OGs of unks, if you will. But to me, this structurally is the same move here for Dogecoin. And this was the one coin where I was like, I saw this and I was like, is it really just that simple? And the more that I think about it, the more that I'm like, man, because to me, it's like it was the same kind of thing where we were convinced that this was the bull market. And there was definitely gains to be made here. And this is the same thing. Dead cat bounced from between the 50 and 70% range. This was Dogecoin went to the 702 on market cap. And then we came back tested, reaccumulated. And so to me, this is what I think. Now, I don't think that Bitcoin's going to do this. I don't think Bitcoin's going to go like stupid parabolic, but I do think a lot of the altcoins are structurally here.
So where do you think Dogecoin is going to go?
All right. So my targets are 60 cents, $1.11, $2.20.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, you after all of that, I mean, you make a compelling argument for Dogecoin to do that. I've been of a mindset. I've been more, bearish. That's kind of where I am with all my price targets and not all of them, but a lot of them in comparison to your targets. Mine is just a 702 retrace, and maybe that's way too conservative. That's 53 cents, and I just. It's less of a charting reason and more of a just, my goodness, Doge in 2021 went from what, 2/10 of a cent to 75 cents. And it feels like it would take more than one cycle to break through that. But
maybe the only reason, I mean, it already went to the 618 on price. Market cap, it went to the 702. So to me, it's like you could already say it kind of
that's
did
a fair
that
point.
in 2024.
Yeah, when you said that stuck out to me because I'm looking at my chart and it did exactly the 618 in price, and that's fascinating that it would have done the 702 in market cap.
Yeah, there's a little bit of inflation. Actually, people kind of I've heard people talk down on like how much supply is being
Yeah.
created with Dogecoin. I actually think that there's
Oh
way
man.
worse offenders. I don't think that the inflation on Dogecoin
Doge
is
is kind
actually
of my
that bad.
standard for like if something is worse than Doge, I'm going to pay a lot of attention to it. If it's not worse than Doge, I'm not going to. So people hear the number, oh, they print 10,000 new coins a minute or something like that. I don't remember the exact amount. I think that's it.
Yeah,
But you got to keep in mind when there's billions upon billions of supply, there's what 130 billion. There might actually be more than that in supply right now. You
right.
got to do percentages, and for Doge at this point,
Yep.
that's like 3% increase a year, and diminishing because the supply increases. So there's way worse offenders than Doge in that regard.
Honestly, so 3%, that's less than the US dollar. Like they might say it's
Yeah.
2%, you know what I mean? But like in reality, the amount of supply that has
Hmm.
been created. So if you're measuring it in US dollar, it's less than the US dollar. So yeah, it's relative. Like are there a lot of different coins? Like sure, but it's relative to what will exist and what exists already. So yeah, I think that's a good that might be a good tool to add to your guys' toolbox. Like, is the inflation
Yeah.
worse than Dogecoin? If yes, maybe
Pay attention to it.
do some more yeah, pay attention. That's a good. And if no, then we are good to
You want
go.
to? The
Green
web
light.
gave you a super chat.
Webb, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for the $5 donation. Good morning, guys. Can you look at Theta? It's looking good, beautiful tokenomics. I agree. Theta to me, there's like a whole list of quote
Yeah.
dinosaur sleeping giants. To me, you could put Theta on there. Someone asked me about Quant earlier. I would put Quant on that list as well. I man, I don't know. I just me and William talked last night, and he was asking me like, what are my coins that I like, and I was like, I like a lot of the quote
Yeah,
dinosaur
man.
coins because it's it's a principle for me in life, not only in crypto, but I want to see how you respond when you get punched in the mouth. If you've never been punched in the mouth, like it's like Mike Tyson says, everyone has a plan until they get hit in the mouth. I want to see what you do when you get hit in the mouth. And I like these dinosaur coins because they've been hit in the mouth by a recession, by a bear market, multiple, a lot of them. And, it's easy to be awesome and front run when things are awesome. But when you don't go through the proper real deal trenches, not what they were calling in 2024, like I'm talking the real trenches. Back in my day, we did not have TikTok crypto. Okay, we had to get on Twitter and find
What's
the
Twitter?
TikTok, the crypto news. Oh, um, so yeah, Theta to me, it's just that long, boring accumulation chart. I would give it micro targets of like 220 for a micro retrace, and there's confluence with the macro retrace and the micro parabolic at $8. So to me, $8 is pretty money in the bank, and then we might go as high as 38 in the crazy world.
That would be crazy. Fundamentally,
Yeah, but I
what
think
eight?
yeah, $8 to me, I mean, that's a
Yeah.
10x. Like you don't really even need anything more than that.
So theta can do all the things that you just said it can do, and I'm just going to tell you guys fundamentally it is dead, and it still can do those things. FYI. So
Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of times too is like we confuse as crypto investors, we think we have this let me think about this. All right, as crypto investors, we have this idea in our brains that it's like if a project is good
yeah,
and it's doing
yep.
fundamental things, that equals a good investment. And they are exclusively one and the same. And to that, I would say, why did Fartcoin go over $1 billion? You know what I mean? Like they
Oh
are not
man,
mutually exclusive. Maybe the more long horizon that you go on, it might be more mutually exclusive. But just because a project is doing something good does not necessarily mean it is a good ROI investment, and vice versa
yeah.
as well.
Are people buying it or using it is what I care about crypto. Like,
Yeah.
Solana, I people are using it. and people are buying it to get in there, but they're using it. And so that's something that, okay, I care about. Theta, people are not using Theta. They're never going to use Theta. But are people buying it? Well, not right now, not so much, but there will be a time. So,
yeah. Someone said it's all a scam, but how much can we make? I mean, your entire reality is a scam, bro. Like, you know, Social Security, insurance, the US dollar, it's
yeah.
all a scam. So which is the better scam? Insurance is a scam. Social Security is a scam. Freaking the US dollar is a scam. People working 40 years of their life only for the government to print away half of the money that's all the money that's ever existed in a couple of years, essentially erasing 20 years of your hard work down the drain. That's a scam. You know, paying you know, $500,000 for a college degree where you can make less money as an Uber driver. That's a scam.
I'm getting bombarded with questions about Pengu. So let me just say real quick, Pengu broke a downtrend. It's in an uptrend now. So there we go. I don't have a price target on Pengu. It's too new, but I'm very bullish on it. I've talked about my bullishness on it a lot. So anyway.
Got 7K. Advice on what shall I buy?
VeChain.
Yeah, VeChain is a safe play that you could feel comfortable round tripping.
Avalanche.
Yeah, I would stick with blue chips that are low and boring. That's
low and boring
the play to me.
Yep. Quant. Anyway.
Yeah, Quant. Good tokenomics. Like look at go to Coin Market Cap and measure the difference between market cap versus FDV. That will tell you tokenomics, and that's a good one.
Become thing. I just got to give a appreciation to Like Chocolate for joining my channel as a member. Thank you so much.
Shout out to Light Chocolate. Let's go. Never believe in. Yeah, you both do a great job, by the way. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. ADA, I like ADA 2468. Now ADA, you know, was on one of my top. Like ADA was past tense the same way that I view VeChain today, but it's performed really well. And it's still like, you know, it's still macro below the 236, so I still think it has good value for sure. But it's already up. What is it up like 70% over the last couple months? So it still has macro good value, I would say, but 2468, those are my targets. 2468, who do we appreciate? Giga Chad. What are your top 5-6 Dino coins? VeChain. Okay. Let's quantify the question. Are we talking about right now ROI investment, or are we talking about ROI investment long-term?
For me, right, I care right now, long-term, or not right now, ROI.
Right now, ROI, it would be VeChain, it would be number one. Let me just pull up. VeChain is like far and away. My screen is
okay.
loading.
I'll try to name some real quick. VeChain and Avalanche right now. I mean, that could change at any time they pump. It'll change. What else? Oh man, I'm just kind of. I guess I got to scroll down here.
Yeah, I was my brain.
I'll go with
blanked
Doge
out here. I would have said Kronos.
Yeah, not anymore.
Well, my re-entry. Yeah, my re-entry though was 25 cents. It's okay. Uniswap.
Yeah, that chart looks good.
So okay, there you go. So there you go. Uniswap is an example of what I was talking about. It's literally the same as Saucer Swap to HBAR. It's like finding the front running the coin that's going to perform well, the ecosystem of that coin. Uniswap is a blue chip. So Uniswap, VeChain. What else? I like ICP. Some people don't like ICP. That one's more risk reward, I guess. Quant,
Okay.
XTC. What else? There you go. That's a solid. I think I gave 5 coins. Maybe XLM.
Yeah, where's XLM? I mean, it's up pretty big from its bear market bottom, but anyway.
Now the one coin that I like a lot that I don't necessarily think is going to ROI the most today, but it will over the next 5 years, I think is HBAR. And I feel really comfortable with that one. That one to me is going to be bear market. Bitcoin should be number one holding, in my opinion. When you start accumulating crypto again, it should be Bitcoin. The big mistake that a lot of people make is they go all in on like all these altcoins, getting ready for alt season, not knowing the roller coaster ride that is cryptocurrency. Bitcoin will be first by a lot. So you should position yourself like that, in my opinion. But as far as blue chip altcoins, HBAR is going to be one of my bigger plays in the bear market.
Bear market. So I wish I could. There's one way I wish I had a replay on the bear market. I bought a lot of Bitcoin miners, and I did fine with those, and I actually did very well selling like covered calls on them. But MicroStrategy was at $13 in the bear market, and the Bitcoin miners like tripled or quadrupled. MicroStrategy did like a 30x. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I just hope they don't get liquidated at any point, but that'll be a play for me.
What was the beard bet with VeChain? The beard bet with VeChain was 10 cents.
All right, let's do it.
Thank you, Ski. Ondo, it's all right.
Yeah. That's
fine.
exactly how I feel.
I don't get it. I don't get excited about it. I think it's more long term, like maybe more delusion than HBAR, but like the same sort of thing of like it's not going to perform as well as you want necessarily this time around, but it might be a longer term.
So I just pulled up my Ondo chart because I made a video talking about Ondo, and I projected one of two things. So you can see I did wonder if it was going to go back down one more time to the bottom of this wedge. Broke out. Now maybe I'm looking for a back test, and then Ondo. But I mean, like I'm thinking Ondo like $3 or so. It's $1.09 right now. So
Ryan says, will you guys be 100% out within 2 to 3 months of the first rate cut?
So that's probably hearing something that I said. And I would encourage you to watch my most recent video because I addressed that. So let me pull up others. Yeah. So here was the thing in December that made me sell 40% of my bag, and I wish I sold more. Was like we just saw this aggressive climb that I just thought, I mean, that the rapidity, rapidness of that climb, however you say that word, I just thought whenever we lose this, we're probably just going to lose it, and that's going to be it. And so what I saw we lost it. We rose to a retest of that trend line, got rejected there, and then I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm looking for something like that again. If that happens in 2 months, 3 months, 7 months, 12 months, I don't think it's going to happen in 12 months. But if something like that happens and then we lose that, I'm selling on the back test. So
for me, and I've talked about this a lot, time is not real for Bitcoin. Bitcoin will be here long after me and Alex are gone. So time is real for us, our retirement plan, and we want to put our kids through college and get our boat. But what about the vacation I'm planning with Patricia? No. Okay. It's not real, for Bitcoin. So for me, I have a guideline, but it's not gospel. It's not the 10 commandments of, it's not written in stone. It's a guideline, not gospel. I think it will happen in November is when we'll be euphoric. But I'm not going to, nor will I ever make decisions based off of time, because time is not real for Bitcoin. It's only real for me. I'll make decisions based off of structure, based off of sentiment, based off of a number of factors, based off of my price targets, my exit plan. But as far as, based off of time. I don't make decisions based off of time. I'm not like, oh,
Yeah.
February, it's here, time to take profit. That's
But
not what I'm
hey,
going to be doing.
weren't we supposed to sell in May and go away?
Buy in May, fly
Yeah, at
away.
least for Bitcoin
There's
and
both.
definitely for Ethereum.
Exit plan for Link, 38, 78, 178. Those are my 3
Let's go.
targets.
Now, I'm not holding anything other than Bitcoin and and Solnic for sure.
Yeah. Solnic is my
Yeah.
number one. Solnic Hihi, number 100x
Um,
plays. Honestly, I will be
oh yeah.
accumulating Solnic in the bear market aggressively. Honestly.
So I am selling everything. I don't care. At some point, I will have 0 crypto other than Bitcoin and Hihi and some ceremonial Solnic. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be accumulating Solnic pretty aggressively. I'm still buying it a little bit here and there, but I'll
yeah,
be aggressively
same deal. I would
accumulating.
love to get, I had 23% of the supply at one point before burning it. I'd love to get above that in the bear market for Hihi.
Yeah. And yeah, that's the thing too, is like I think I well expect Hihi and Solnic over the next few months is going to perform very, very well. I still have the beard bet, 7.5 cents for Solnic, or I will shave my beard. I fully anticipate my beard to keep growing. For you doing math at home, I believe that is a 13x from today, right now. That being said, this idea that we need to do it all right now in the next couple of months, or that's it, that's not how I feel. That to me, I've said all along, we'll be doing this for the next 10 years. So, or at least I will. And I think Alex will too. I don't want to speak for Alex. Maybe he
I'll
retires.
retire. I don't know, but
Alex has got a few years on me, so I don't want to. But Ski said,
I'll probably, I think I'll
it's
still,
9 years.
I'll be here in some regard for
Yeah.
forever. I mean, daily live streams, 10 years from now, we'll see.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me too, it's like this was my goal when I started doing this. Was like I wanted to be able to provide for my family and make videos. That's what I've always wanted to do. When I was a kid, I saw America's Funniest Home Videos when I was like 5 years old, and the idea was planted in my brain. They made $10,000, which for me as a kid, I
yeah,
was like, that was like you could just buy a Lamborghini, you know. Um, Back then. So, and the idea was planted in my brain is like, oh, you can make money from videos. I thought you had to be like in the army or a police officer or whatever. I didn't know that that was an option. So I would always ask for video cameras. So this was the goal the entire time. So now that we're here, it's not like I will be making videos 10 years from now. I can assure you. Yeah, I enjoy very much what I'm doing. I appreciate you guys making enlighten us, guys. Sui is
fine.
fine. Done.
I mean, I'm seeing the same thing with a lot of these cryptos. Okay, so Sui, I'm back in. All right, here we go. So there's hope for Sui. Now I'm not. I have my Sui Dogecoin plan, which is they reach $30,000. My bag reaches $30,000. I'm cashing out and paying my kids' tuition at school. Now I've already paid a couple months, but I'm when that time gets there, that's when I'm cashing out. And so I'm not expecting. I think it's probably like 14 or 15,000 right now. So that's kind of my brain with Sui. I'm not expecting Sui to get to a 10x from here. Not even close. There's just we talked about Dogecoin tokenomics kind of being the benchmark. I think there's 5 times as much Sui in circulation right now than in early 2024, in January of 2024. So,
Which means you need 5 times the amount of dollars invested to even
yeah,
equal out. That's what that means. Dot, to me, Dot, you could put in that category of like dead dinosaur coins that I am bullish on. A lot of people said mean things about Dot, but I think
Yeah,
it's gonna do
I'm
pretty
I'm kind of
well.
liking Dot right now. I mean, it seems, yeah, I'm not a fan of Dot. I'm not a fan of Polkadot. There's no use case. They just haven't been able to develop their business to bring about adoption. But all that being said, there are exits to be made.
Don't hate it. Don't date it.
That's
Just
right.
trade it. Someone asked me about Rose. I like Rose.
I will like it eventually, I'm sure. I just don't like it now.
At some point. Bare bones, 11 cents. That's a micro retrace. And I think so my targets are 11 cents, 28 cents, and then crazy 88
Whew.
cents. That would be
All right.
euphoria. That I think the highest probability though is 28 cents.
All right.
Which is still, I mean, that's
Oh yeah.
insane. Even that.
Yeah, let's do it.
The tokenomics on Rose are pretty good. Even the micro retrace to 12 cents, that's a 3x. Like, we got to put in perspective, a 3x is like, what is that, like 60 years of stock market gains? I don't know,
Costa
something
is not
crazy.
a fan of Dot because there's no use case, but he loves memes. LOL, dumbass.
Well, we've been talking about
Go.
I don't know why, but the way that you read that just like set me off.
Oh man, I just
We've been talking about the entire live stream. There's a difference between what a project does. People think that they are
yeah,
mutually exclusive. If a project does something cool, it makes it a good investment. That is
yeah.
not true. Price equals supply plus demand. That's it. Why does Fartcoin go to $1 billion? What does Fartcoin do?
So
Nothing.
I like that
It
at least
farts.
memes are honest. It's like we know what we get with memes. You buy a meme coin, you deserve for it to go to zero, and maybe you'll get lucky, and you probably will get lucky. And they all have good tokenomics, all of them.
Yeah.
With Dot, they're I mean, they tried. They tried. They just failed. That's all I'm saying. Like Dot tried to be there was a lot of potential with Dot, and they didn't reach that potential, and they're never going to. And they don't have as good tokenomics as meme coins. So yeah, I prefer memes over Polkadot.
But they're way better on
Yeah,
tokenomics than a lot of other coins. So I don't think that the tokenomics on Dot are that bad, but there's a little bit of
yeah.
inflation to consider. Thoughts on Perma Bear Jam? I do not think about other men, not even a little bit. Filecoin could go big. Filecoin is one of the worst egregious
Yeah,
offenders
yeah.
of tokenomics. Again, that's the prime example of like, is Filecoin doing cool things? Yes. Does that make it a good ROI investment? Not necessarily.
Filecoin, yeah, I wouldn't touch that even a little bit. Even yeah, sure. Can it do gains? Yeah, it'll do gains. Cool. So will everything else.
Yeah. Your best two memes. There are only two. Solnick, hee hee. But we're not even memes anymore. But yeah, there you go. Meme coins have a huge following, good tokenomics. Yeah, like you have to understand too, like the whole allure for a lot of people is this idea of getting rich quick, which I think is the wrong. I've said this 100 times. If you want to get rich quick, crypto is not for you. If you want to get rich eventually with patience, discipline, consistency, maybe crypto is for you. But your time horizon should be 3 to 5 years
Yeah.
minimum. This not 3 to 5 months. But the ethos of a lot of people is like they have this idea, and people do like to naturally, natively want to gamble. And that's never going to go away. That's a primal
Yeah.
thing. So, but got to be patient in this market. That's right. Patience. This is a game. The entire game of everything, but crypto is no different. It's a game of transferring wealth from the impatient to the patient. Think about like who made money in April, who made money in 2022, who made money. It was the patient, the consistent. It wasn't the people that were panic selling. And to me, it's like I'm not always going to be right. I will be wrong. I was wrong in February. I get things wrong, but I make decision based off of data, logic, and reason. I will never make a decision based off of fear. Never. And I will never make a decision based off of greed. And that I haven't always been right, but that has kept me in the right flavor more times than not.
Pretty much. So I have nothing to add to that.
ETH price target. It is still 7,200. That's the highest probability.
Thought on Near. I actually kind of like Near right now. That's even one that I might add to that list of like cryptos. Someone's asking for top 5. Maybe it's like 6 through 10 or something.
Yeah. Top 17 plays right now. Not as sexy as top 5. But that that's the truth. Your opinion about Zeus Network? I do not have an opinion on Zeus Network. I'm not involved in Zeus Network. Are you? Do you have any opinions on Zeus? I don't. Yeah, I don't have. It's impossible. You know, there's a million coins. It's impossible for me to know everything about every coin, and I won't pretend like I do if I don't. XYO, my neighbor was talking, so IDK if I missed it. I like XYO.
I mean, I just don't like the chart right now, but like XYO, I mean, look at the chart. Look at what happens. It'll bore you to death and then it'll explode. And so I'm assuming XYO is going to do the same thing that it always does.
All right, guys. I think this is a good stopping point. That's going to be it for this time. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. If you're watching on TikTok, don't go to other places and look me up. Absolutely not. You certainly could not find this full podcast on the red place at Yaboyski, YABOYSKUY. And you certainly can't find me on the black platform with the X in it at Gayeski.
Yeah.
GAJEWSKUY.
Same.
Where can they not?
So I do not have a YouTube channel named World War Bitcoin. I do not. I make videos and upload them to YouTube
only for TikTok
on a channel, but I'm quite certain that it's not World War Bitcoin. So there's that. I'm not on Instagram at World War Bitcoin, and I'm not on X at WW Bitcoin.
No, we only make videos for TikTok.
I only care about TikTok, even though I got banned because of that one guy who wants money from me.
Yeah, we love TikTok. We never say anything about Big Brother, please allow us. Big Brother, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't say bad things. We're not allowed to think or anything like that. So, all right, guys. That's gonna be it for this time. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Any closing thoughts, Alex?
Yes. TikTok, Zebushi Kushao, which means please don't ban me.
Oh, wow.
Chinese.
What language is that? Oh, my man. All right.
I learned that 4 years ago.
I was like, wow, I did not know that. Alex
I learned that for
Chinese.
a video. Or no, you know what? That actually means this is not a promotion. Never mind. But
oh, damn it. You had me in the first half. All right, guys. I'll never message you. I have 243 missed text messages right now. That's just text messages. I'm not going to message you. If you message me, I will message you back, but I will never message you first. That's somebody from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Kakistan, Turkestan. It's not a ski stan. It's not an Alex
Mm.
stan. All right.